If you subscribe to my newsletter, which some of you have been subscribed to my newsletter for a long, long time, if you've never heard of it, 3 times a week I send out a newsletter called the Scouting Hot Finds. And Scouting Hot Finds goes to about 5,000 collectors in our hobby. And these are collectors from all over the country that I've dealt with that subscribe to the newsletter. And it's really mostly about eBay and about what's happening on eBay. And it also is a way for me to kind of share what I'm doing in my little patch business. So Brian was asking me, I think Brian is the only person in this chat who knows what I'm about to show you, but it might be kind of fun for me to pause for about 10 seconds here and just say, put in the chat what you think this is. I know I have not given you very many clues, and that's kind of the whole point of it, but this, I can kind of give you a couple of clues. This is something that fits in my collection. It's something I've never had. I didn't even know if I would ever get one. And the story basically is somebody who's a subscriber to the Hot Finds is in the stage of life where they're going to start selling off some of their collection. He reached out to me and said that bubble wrap. Yeah, that's what it is, Sean. He reached out to me and said, I want to, I'll give you a little clue. If I turn it over there, you can see a little something poking out. He said that he had some pretty cool stuff and he wanted to, sell it. And I said, well, I don't think I could buy your collection. Your collection sounds too big, too expensive, too this. But I said, one of the things you've mentioned, I would love to get for my collection. And so he was super, super nice about it. And I made him an offer that was very fair, very kind of retail price, nothing that was like a bargain or anything, a very retail price for this item. And he agreed to sell it to me. And he was he was cautious. Let's just say this. He shipped it with FedEx. He shipped it with a lot of insurance. I won't tell you how much insurance because then I'll start giving away how much I paid for this thing. But it was a lot. And I had to sign for it with my photo ID. And the driver, took a picture of everything. It was some very, very secure stuff going on for this guy. All right, any guesses? I saw someone did say Eagle Scout medal. All right. Now I don't know that many of you have, in your sort of Rolodex of scouting memorabilia knowledge that you would know exactly what this is just by looking at it off the top. But let me peel this back as well. All right. This, my friends, is one of my chief needs for my Eagle Scout medal collection. And so for those of you who are familiar with Eagle Scout medals, I'll try to hold it up closer to the camera. This Eagle Scout medal, which is in great shape, that was one thing I was really, really happy about. It was in terrific shape. This Eagle medal is over 100 years old. Yes. So this is a Deegis enclust. Now we call it Deegis enclust because the manufacturer of the Boy Scout Eagle medal from 1916 to 1924 was Deegis enclust, and sometimes we sort of abbreviate it as DG. And the medal itself looks exactly like the medal from the Foley company that made the first medal. It's basically the exact same medal. But a couple of things stand out. You can see here this knot is very distinctive. That's very different than any other knots. And then this style of metal here at the bottom, the pendant, is also very different. Now, how do you know it's a Deegis enclust? I want to be very gentle with this thing. And I don't want to, be messing with it too much, but let me get this tape off. So somewhere under here, now you guys are not going to be able to read this. I realize that. I know that I can't get enough light. I can't magnify it enough, but right there on the back of this scroll is the stamp Deegis enclust. And so that's how we know that. Now, unfortunately, from a collector standpoint, from the front, like when I have this in my Eagle Scout display, you're not going to know, you're not going to be able to see that little tiny Deegis enclust. But I'll probably have a little written label here that'll kind of explain all of that, and maybe even have a little picture of the stamp on it. But anyways, this is one of those. This is a splurge, guys. This is why I said in my Hot Finds newsletter, I am still a collector, even though I sell all this scouting memorabilia. When I can, I pick up things that I need, and this is something that was never offered to me before. So it's one of those things. The first time it was offered to me, I made the guy a very fair offer. He was very happy to get it. In fact, he even sent me a card, which, with hiding his name here a little bit, he literally wrote me a note saying he was really glad for me to get this in my collection. And, he was breaking up his collection. He was letting his collection go. And so he was really, he appreciated my enthusiasm and everything. So I'm going to keep this note with this medal. But that's my little show and tell, guys. For me, this is a big win, a Deegis and Clust Eagle Scout medal. It's 100 years old. And I'm really excited to get that. So